At this time, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Reynolds Brown, who will present a resolution on my behalf recognizing the Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Incorporated. With Lorena Marshall Blake and those accompanying her, please join the Councilwoman at the podium. Councilwoman. And joining Councilwoman And joining Councilwoman Brown, we have Councilwoman Sherelle Parker and Councilman Derek Green.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you can see, we are graced this morning with the gracious ladies in pink and green.
All right. And we need a bigger stage.
Yes. America's oldest African-American sorority in the country. Move, ladies. You can continue to move swiftly and join us in the front here. So it's a wonderful pleasure for me to present the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and their chosen, selected, gracious colors of pink and green, and we should be advised that every Thursday we are graced with members of this sorority, women in leadership here in the city, including Evelyn Sample Oates, who is the charter member of Omega Mu Omega, and also Stephanie Phipps, who every Thursday gracious us as well and reminds us that there are women of your sorority every day making a difference for those in our city. So what a pleasure it is for me as a member of a sister sorority known as Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, yes, to have the pleasure to welcome you all. Yes, indeed it is. And so this morning, we are recognizing and honoring the Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated on its 90th anniversary. Let's underscore that bold with exclamation points. On its 90th anniversary and celebrating the Omega chapter's history, their accomplishments, and their ongoing, unwavering commitment of service to all mankind.
So before I start with the first whereas clause, I need to say a special thanks to Council President Clarke and to my soror Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown for allowing me to participate in this presentation. And it is not by happenstance. Councilwoman Reynolds Brown knows that it was the Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated who presented this Delta prior to her becoming a Delta, with a book scholarship when it was very much needed when she was in high school. And those are relationships that you never forget no matter what colors you wear. And whereas Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the first Greek letter organization for African American women, founded at Howard University on January 15, 1908, has grown from an initial group of 16 founders to its current membership of 283,000, with a global strength of 993 chapters. And whereas the Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated was chartered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on December 10th, 1926. And whereas Omega is the chapter of Ethel Hedgeman Lyle, founder of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority in Philadelphia, listen, the chapter of noted Philadelphia educator and philanthropist Ruth Wright Hare, and the chapter of our former city councilwoman Augusta Alexander Clarke, and AKAs, you'll understand this. Gussie, who was, although the second African-American woman elected to this body, she was the first Democratic African-American woman elected, and if you knew Gussie Clarke, she didn't win second of anything well.
You're right. You're right.
And as a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm often told that you can't spell Kappa Alpha Psi without the Kappa, which is combined with AKA. So I'm always reminded that they started it first before we came along. I'm always told by a number of the ladies here in this room about that. Whereas the Omega Omega chapter will celebrate 90 years of service and sisterhood through programs which have provided educational opportunities, address health concerns, examine economic and environmental issues, assisted in meeting the needs of the young and the elderly, provided leadership training, saluted the arts, fostered sisterly relations, and extended its hand to the world community. And whereas Omega Omega chapter has collaborated with and supported numerous civic, professional, religious, and fraternal organizations, and since 1995 has provided more than $1.5 million in scholarship assistance to hundreds of deserving young scholars and community-based organizations through its annual Day of Sharing. And whereas the Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is a distinguished group of 480 professional women whose vision and tireless efforts create a bond of sisterhood and committed service for the benefit of communities around the world, and will continue to work diligently to reach goals and fulfill requirements set forth by the International Program of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Now therefore be it
Resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that we hereby honor, recognize, congratulate, celebrate, and lift up the Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated on its 90th anniversary, and celebrate the Omega Omega chapter's history, their accomplishments, and unwavering ongoing commitment of service to all mankind. Further resolved that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to the leadership and membership of Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated as evidence of the sincere sentiments of this legislative body. This resolution was introduced by our President, Councilman Darrell Clarke, and supported by all members of the Philadelphia City Council. Let's lift up these amazing women.
And the chair recognizes Lorena Marshall Blake for remarks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
President Clarke and all the members of City Council of Philadelphia, family and friends, it is indeed our honor and we consider it a privilege on behalf of the almost 500 members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Omega Omega, and as mentioned, our over 280,000 other members throughout the country. Our national president, Ms. Dorothy Buchanan Wilson, and our regional director, Meredith Henderson, and our former regional director, Evelyn Sample Oates, who is here with us today, to stand before you today to receive this resolution of honor and celebrating 90 years of service to this region. Through our international office, has already been mentioned, our targets, launching new dimensions of service, educational enrichment, health promotion, family strengthening, environmental ownership, and global impact. And our signature programs, Ascend Youth Enrichment Program. We've also had our community impact days where we were building 1,908 playgrounds, not by ourselves, but with others. And we have done 2 ourselves. We were active with the voting on November 8th. And again, we did the sing-along right here in City Council. But as has been stated, we are the oldest Greek letter organization, founded in 1908 at Howard University under the leadership of our founder, Ethel Hedgeman Lyle. And it's been said that leadership is about believing 100% in yourself and 200% in the people you are asking to follow. So again, we have continued to follow Ethel Hedgeman-Lyle and all the other leaders. And we must remember to always remember all those who have gone before us. And there are great leaders who were members of Omega chapter who have been mentioned, but one who is no longer with us, but I'm sure she's up there giving the Lord direction, who was my sponsor 25 years ago, Councilwoman Augusta Alexander Carr. Amen. And then great leaders like Dr. Ruth Wright Hare, the superintendent of the Philadelphia Public School District. And then we have a member who is was the oldest member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, Sarah Winona Peters Green, who was 110 years old. She just transitioned last month, but she's still with us. She said to us in a recent video that with pearls of wisdom, she said, time makes the difference, and the difference is time. And then we added to that, we have to learn how to give time. And again, there's no time like the present to make a difference in someone's life. For over 90 years, we have stood flat-footed and determined to make this world a better place. Dr. Maya Angelou would say, people won't remember what you said, and they won't remember what you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And today, you have made us feel extra special in our pink and green. And she would also say that we must learn to put a rainbow in someone's cloud, looking every day to make it a better world. So today, again, you have made us especially proud that you took the time to honor our 90-year history of service to all mankind. Again, I'd like to thank all the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha who are Omega chapter who are with us today, and especially Kathleen Lacey and Crystal Lacey who have been leading the 90-year commitment, our celebration. And also I'd like to acknowledge Carlene Neal and Carol Parkinson Hall for all their hard work on helping us to put together this resolution. But it has been said as I end that life is the greatest of all statements. Make sure yours speaks volumes. And again, on behalf of Omega chapter, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Sorority Incorporated, we do thank you for this acknowledgement today of our past, our present, and we're most excited about our future. Commitment to this city, to this state, to this region, to this world. Thank you.
Councilman Vides.